Alright, what's going on, dudes, and welcome to some Battlefield 3 multiplayer gameplay. Team deathmatch on Seine crossing. Pardon my ability to speak French, or lack thereof, as I may have just totally mispronounced the map name, but either way, I have been having so much fun on this game. It's been quite a while since I've last experienced a PC launch of a game that has gone quite as smoothly as Battlefield 3 has gone thus far, and that makes me very, very happy. It's almost like a Valve title in that regard. So I must admit, I had my doubts after playing the beta because most of my experience of what that was like, at least on Operation Metro, was, yeah, I'm gonna go plant the bomb, or yeah, I'm gonna go shoot that guy over, oh no, wait, damn, I fell through the map. Well, that's a bummer. So after that, I was a little bit iffy, but apparently from what I've heard, that was an older build, and DICE was using it, and or EA was using it mainly just to test out functionality of servers, so on and so forth. So they seem to have really pulled through for the final release, and that makes me very, very happy, especially because nowadays most video games are developed with consoles in mind, because obviously that's where most of the money is. More people own consoles, more people who own consoles buy games for their consoles, and it's just a much more accessible platform for most people. But this game was actually developed keeping in mind all the hardware that is available on powerful desktop PCs, and then after developing it for that, it was scaled down so that it could perform at 30 frames per second on consoles as well. So that makes me happy knowing that it can please both crowds very well, and that's very cool. But anyway, as far as what I have been doing so far in order to enjoy myself, last night on release I spent most of my time playing Team Deathmatch, mainly getting myself acquainted with how things are going on the game. I know I said I did play the beta, but even so, I feel I could still use a bit more getting used to things, and there wasn't a Team Deathmatch on the beta to my knowledge. I don't think there was, and if there was, I missed out on it, I guess. And I'm not going to pretend for a second that I am at all good at this game, and it's been, what, a year and a half since I last played Bad Company 2, and that was on console that I played it. So this is a bit of a new experience for me, but it's living up to the hype that seems to have been created for it, and for that I'm incredibly pleased. And oh no, run out of the way, teammate, no! I need to get around the corner. Oh, what a bummer. Oh well, I had that coming. I should have retreated much earlier there. But yeah, so what I've been playing mostly is the Assault class, and in this game, since I'm playing on the US side, I'm using the M16A3 because I don't think I've actually unlocked anything else yet. You may have seen me earlier on fiddling with the class loadout, and that's because I had unlocked a couple new attachments after the past game, but sort of forgot to put them on before spawning in initially, so I went and fixed that and equipped the tactical flashlight, which you guys can tell me, in real-life combat situations, do people ever really equip miniature suns on the end of their barrels in order to lens flare their enemies into submission? Because that's sort of what the tactical flashlight does in this game. Kind of funny. It's very useful, actually, in close quarters. At long range, it sort of gives away your position to the enemy, but at close quarters, it blinds the enemy really badly and makes it really difficult, near impossible to see you, and then you can hopefully get the benefits of obtaining a kill, and that's sort of the point of it. Also a really cool effect. I'm not sure if it's the red dot sight or if it's a laser sight. I have yet to figure that out, but what happens is, if regardless, red dot, laser sight, when you point it at an enemy, it'll create this sort of I'm sure at some point in each of your lives you have had a laser pointer pointed at your eye. Well, probably better if you haven't, but many of you probably have, and that's sort of the effect it gives off, and it lets you know that someone is aiming at you, and you can either turn that direction, try to shoot them, or you can try to dive for cover quite quickly. You have a couple of options there, but a lot of really subtle nuances that make for some really cool effects that just kind of put the game above and beyond and put a smile on my face as well. So what I'm using is tactical flashlight. I had the grip as well going into the game. The grip is actually very useful. It cuts down recoil a ton, And then the red dot sight is also very nice and just increasing your accuracy, even if it doesn't affect there's the tactical flashlight you can sort of see. I don't know if you caught that. Doesn't have so much of an effect at a medium range like that, but at when it's more of a spray and pray situation around a corner, it sort of blinds you. And this game has enough lens flares to make Michael Bay very proud. and some are very useful. For example, the tactical flashlight. Also, for example, if you look directly in the sun, you will get a nice lens flare, which is, well, it makes sense because when you look at, I don't know what I'm doing here with defibrillators. I don't think defibrillators actually do anything in Team Deathmatch like they do in an objective game type. I think once you get a kill in Team Deathmatch is actually new to Battlefield 3. And so I'm not entirely sure if defibrillators do anything to reverse the kill counter, but I'm pretty sure they don't, so I don't know why I was trying to use them there. I guess I was just trying to be a team player. But anyway, as far as lens flares go, when you look into the sun, you get nice lens flares that sort of obscure your vision, but in a more realistic manner, because obviously when you look into the sun, it's going to obscure your vision. But then there are other times when it's a little bit excessive and you feel like you need to put on some sunglasses or something, like you're gonna watch a Transformers movie, something of that sort. And yeah, lots and lots of lens flares. But other than that, really not much I've found that has been to my distaste. I guess one thing is, as time goes by, it seems with the Battlefield franchise, with each sequential release, there is an inverse relationship between minimap stylization and minimap functionality, and it seems with each release, the stylization of the minimap increases and the functionality goes down a little bit. So that's one thing I've noticed, and also I personally have had a little bit of trouble sometimes in really reflex-oriented situations where a teammate of mine pops around the corner and I don't entirely, if they're not in my squad, I don't right away notice the blue triangle over their head, and I've team killed a few people by accident. So yeah, that's happened. I promise, if you've been on the receiving end of my bullets as a teammate, it was not on purpose. I didn't mean to. I promise. And yeah, so I'll have to work on that. That's basically my fault. That really, yeah. And I also need to spot people more. So a few things I can work on in that regard. And hopefully over time I'll be able to improve. So I hope you guys have enjoyed some of the gameplay. If you're interested, I'll try to bring more of it in the future because I do plan on continuing to play this as it is very, very fun and puts a smile on my face and all that. So it's all of the above. So yeah, on that note, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.